Of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these fucking conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers.
It's so funny what's happening with Diddy because this was inevitable.
Okay, everything now, let's dive in. It's difficult to believe that someone as charming and seemingly unblemished as Steve Harvey could be involved in such a scandal, but let's go back a little because this isn't just about him. The story really began when Shah Diddy Combs was arrested for a number of shocking allegations that exposed his covert lifestyle. While Diddy's legal troubles made headlines, most people weren't prepared for the involvement of well-known figures like Steve Harvey, Usher, and Justin Bieber in a web of unsettling accusations. And guess what? This is just the tip of the iceberg.
This is what I mean when I say people wake up every day and just volunteer lies. Diddy, how are we supposed to believe anything that comes out of your mouth? And furthermore, why should we not believe the rumors of things going in your mouth when you out here volunteering bold-faced lies? You would still be lying to us right now if it was no video. You didn't even apologize to Cassie in the video.
Imagine this: beneath all the glamour and glitz, the lavish parties and the red carpets, there is a much darker side to the entertainment business. We're talking about private, invitation-only events where celebrities are said to have been tricked into compromising situations only to find themselves stuck in a world of blackmail and manipulation. Insiders claim that these parties were more than just enjoyable games. They were also purportedly places where power was wielded, secrets were kept, and lives were ruined.
That this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
Let's return to Diddy's years-long arrest. The most shocking revelation was that Steve Harvey was involved in this mess. Rumors about Diddy's infamous gatherings, which always had an air of mystery and were branded as high society get-togethers with the biggest names in Hollywood and the music industry, have been rife. However, the truth is far more sinister. When Diddy was finally arrested and charged with some of the most serious offenses imaginable, it opened the door for a wave of new accusations. Long regarded as a man of wisdom and stability, Steve Harvey is a smooth-talking television host, comedian, and family man who built an empire based on his clean image. However, new evidence suggests that Harvey was more than just a casual guest at Diddy's infamous parties. According to reports, he was deeply involved in what can only be described as a twisted game of manipulation and control, using these events to cement his status in the upper echelons of the entertainment industry.
It's getting hot.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Another layer to this story, Anne-Marie. A federal investigation into Combs has been ongoing, but he has not been charged.
And this is where it truly gets astounding. Two of the biggest names in music, Usher and Justin Bieber, have reportedly come forward as important witnesses in this ongoing investigation. According to their accounts, they are cooperating with authorities and sharing details that present a much darker picture of Diddy's gatherings and Steve Harvey's role in them. These events were not merely harmless enjoyment. According to rumors, they served as a breeding environment for some of the most scandalous behavior imaginable, forcing emerging celebrities to engage in actions that defied.
L.A. Reid sent you to New York and you live with P. Diddy. They call it Flavor Camp.
Flavor Camp, yeah.
So what was that experience like and how did that help?
But why would Steve Harvey of all people be involved in such a scandal? The high stakes of celebrity culture, according to those in the know, may be the reason. Achieving success in Hollywood requires more than talent and hard work sometimes. It involves power control and paying the ultimate price to keep your name in the public eye. Diddy and his secret network came into play for years during these parties, which served as a sort of celebrity initiation where secrets were shared, alliances were formed, and leverage was gathered.
Not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the life.
Imagine a youthful Usher or Justin Bieber, full of energy and eagerness to succeed in the music industry. They look up to influential people like Diddy and Harvey, thinking they're being taken under their wing, only to discover that they're being drawn into something much darker. According to insider accounts, these young stars were duped into situations that would later be used against them, with Harvey allegedly being one of the key players pulling the strings.
In this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry, and that he was being used by...
Harvey allegedly worked with Diddy to gather dirt on these young stars so that they could be used as puppets in the future. Witnesses claimed that Harvey used his influence to not only get close to these stars, but also to put them in situations they could never have imagined. It wasn't just about manipulation or exploitation, it was about control. Harvey allegedly developed relationships with both Bieber and Usher at these parties that went far beyond professional mentorship.
Think you're right, Puff, dude. He might need to get out of here.
Just get,
it's over with. Did your thing. It's over.
You had a hell of a run.
That's it.
And you still have hundreds of millions of dollars.
The million-dollar issue is, though, how all of this was kept a secret for so long. It turns out that Diddy, Harvey, and other members of the top of this twisted hierarchy were experts at doing just that. According to insiders, these get-togethers were about more than just having a good time. There were allegedly hidden cameras at these events recording everything that went down behind closed doors with the intention of gathering enough evidence on the attendees to keep them quiet, or worse, to manipulate them into doing whatever Diddy and Harvey wanted. Under wraps, they reportedly relied on something far more powerful in their arsenal: blackmail.
Jay, the Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man.
This leads us to one of the most startling discoveries to emerge from this entire fiasco: the videos. Yes, you heard correctly. According to individuals close to the investigation, there are tapes purporting to depict Steve Harvey in scenarios that might quickly ruin his carefully constructed public persona. Diddy is the owner of these videos.
Just an escape for me. I was just young, like everybody in the industry and people in the world who experiment.
Let us take a moment to consider the following. Diddy, who is accused of a number of crimes and could spend years in prison, allegedly had videos that he used to blackmail some of the biggest names in entertainment, including Steve Harvey. According to people close to the case, these videos served as Diddy's insurance policy, allowing him to maintain control over individuals such as Harvey and guarantee their silence and compliance for years. It wasn't just Harvey, though sources claim that other celebrities were also entangled in Diddy's web of manipulation, with their darkest secrets recorded and ready to be used against them at any time.
Something else. Not only should he have apologized to Cassie in that video, he should have apologized to all of the general public that he...
However, this is where things get even more sinister. As investigators delved deeper into D's world, they discovered that these parties were about much more than just blackmail. According to Bieber and Usher, these were expertly planned traps meant to entice young, aspirational stars and make them do things they would never have consented to in the normal course of things. Once they were enmeshed in the whirlwind of fame, wealth, and power, it was too late to turn back.
I saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle.
In particular, is said to have revealed painful information about how, at an early age, he was dragged into this lifestyle and thought it was just a part of his ascent to prominence. By progressively exposing him to more and more outlandish behaviors, Diddy and Harvey utilized their influence to prepare him for these events. By the time he recognized what was going on, he had been too involved in their web of...
I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Moreover, Justin Bieber is said to have informed detectives that he was also a victim of this twisted game. According to sources, Bieber, who gained notoriety at an astonishingly young age, was impressionable and vulnerable, making him the ideal target for Diddy and Harvey's manipulations. Bieber has revealed that he was forced to attend these events under the pretense of networking and career advancement, but once he was there, the truth was very different. According to reports, Bieber said that while covert cameras were recording everything, he and other young celebrities were put in demeaning and embarrassing circumstances.
Never met Diddy a day in my life, but when you do wrong, it comes back on you. So none of us should be surprised, all right?
It's difficult to believe that these young celebrities, who are idolized by millions of fans, were allegedly being used as pawns in a much bigger, darker game. It's even more difficult to believe that Steve Harvey, a man whose family-friendly reputation is associated with all of this, was allegedly involved. However, the evidence is beginning to mount, and it appears that the truth is finally emerging.
Saw in that video totally eviscerated his credibility.
One of the most disturbing aspects of this entire story is that, according to insiders, Harvey was not the only powerful person behind the scenes pulling strings and ensuring that these parties went on for years without anyone knowing. His public persona as a virtuous, successful family man was allegedly just a front, a carefully constructed image meant to divert attention from the reality of his involvement in these dark dealings. But here's the kicker: as more people come forward with their stories, it becomes increasingly evident that Diddy and Harvey's manipulations extended beyond Usher and Bieber. Rumor has it that hundreds of victims, some of them were young, Rising stars like Usher and Bieber were drawn into this world over the years. Some, however, were well-known celebrities who became entangled in Diddy and Harvey's web of
The issue is, it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who don't really.
Even though Diddy may no longer be in charge, there are reportedly other people who have taken his place, ensuring that this twisted system continues to operate in the shadows. As the investigation progresses, it is becoming more and more obvious that the entertainment industry is concealing far darker secrets than anyone could have imagined. Although Diddy's arrest was a step in the right direction, it appears that there are still many more powerful figures who have not been held accountable. What's worse is that these parties and the manipulations that took place at them don't seem to have ended with Diddy's arrest. Steve Harvey, who was formerly seen as a shining example of morals and prosperity, may soon come under scrutiny for his role in these disturbing
A mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a.
And that brings us to the present, where it appears that the truth about Diddy's parties and Steve Harvey's involvement in them is finally beginning to surface thanks to reports that Usher and Bieber are collaborating closely with investigators. However, everyone is wondering what will happen next because, as the spotlight continues to shine on arrests and ever-expanding investigations, it is becoming abundantly evident that we are only seeing the tip of the iceberg. Diddy's demise is due to a wider web of scandal and deceit in Hollywood that has enmeshed many of its biggest personalities, not simply the accusations he is facing. The industry was rocked by his arrest in September 2024, but the full effects are still being felt. Other well-known people are predicted to fall victim to the ripple effects, and Steve Harvey's name is being discussed more and more as someone who might be next in.